Now to the presidential race, and new national polling out this morning with some positive news for President Obama. According to a new CNN opinion research poll, the president now tops Romney by 11 points and Santorum by 13 points in head-to-head matchups. The two Republicans also trail the president when it comes to favorability ratings. Obama has a 14-point net positive favorability rating, while Romney is upside down by 12 points and Santorum by 7. Romney's unfavorable number is still higher than Santorum's, whose unfavorable marks having gone up every time CNN measured the number since last spring.
Okay,
and,
I want you to keep this full screen up and look at the middle number. Mitt Romney, who has long argued that he is the most electable, and who party leaders have long argued will do the best in the general election because he's not a radical reactionary, now has favorability ratings that are net minus 12. Howard Dean, boy, you just don't usually find a presidential candidate in that position. That, you know, whenever people would ask me, well, why can't Sarah Palin be president a year and a half ago, 2 years ago? I'd say, just look at the net favorability ratings. They usually don't turn around. The same thing with Newt. The net unfavorability ratings were so bad that rarely turns around.
There's another problem with these numbers, not these particular numbers. The net unfavorability ratings are very bad, but there was a poll that we showed on this show about 6 months ago, I think it was a Gallup, that showed that 70% of Americans believe that Mitt Romney only cared about rich people. Whether that's true or not is not the problem. The problem is if that's what you believe, that, as you know, that one of the most important polls in any poll, and it's almost in every poll for a candidate, is, does this candidate care about people like me? Well, the American people think that answer to that is no by about 70%. So this is going to be hard to come back from Mitt Romney, because this is why Citizens United is so outrageous. Shelley Adelson did this. Without a guy who's able to write $20 million worth of checks to Newt Gingrich, Mitt Romney is the winner after Florida, and he gets a very good shot at the presidency. His shot at the presidency has virtually been destroyed by the fact that one guy can write $20 million worth of checks to his opponent.
Super PAC ads. And Mark, you look at the negative 12, and then you look at, and I know a lot of people think that we pick on Mitt Romney. Well, we pick on everybody if they say stupid things or if they do stupid things. It is stupid to build a mansion in La Jolla with a car elevator in an election year and have a single lobbyist for your mansion in La Jolla, one of the most exclusive areas in America. That was yesterday. It's stupid to go on the campaign trail and say one of the funniest moments in your life was when your father shut down a factory in Michigan. That's not, I mean, that's...
And it's really not just funny anymore. They're not just gaffes.
And by the way, I know there are a lot of people out there that support Romney that'll say something nasty. Why are you always picking on Romney? Guess what? Romney's own people, when he says stuff like this, go crazy. CBS should have a new show this year. S.H. blank blank that Mitt says. You know, stuff my dad says.
Okay.
It's a little takeoff on the CBS company. No, but seriously, that's a William Shatner thing. But the stuff that Mitt says day in and day out is maddening for Republicans, and nobody's more frustrated than his own campaign staff that says, what's he doing?
Get at the wall calendar, as I've said before, April through November, and every day, right in the calendar, on each day, did Romney say something today the Democrats could make the story of the day, and the media will jump on. And it's just going to be determined who, if he can win, is how many days do you write Romney said something stupid again. And I think he's going to have to stop. But on the other hand, his approval, favorable, unfavorable is bad. Michael Dukakis was up 17 points over George Bush. Bob Dole is up 17 points over Bill Clinton. These are snapshots of today. If he continues to run like this, he can't win. If he runs better, he can.
But favorable, unfavorable is usually pretty hard to turn around. That one on what people make of you, but
hard. But he doesn't have to turn it around completely to win. If he makes the election about the economy and the president's record, he can win with being underwater.
He's got a lot of work to do.
He does.
He's got a lot of work to do. This is unprecedented in modern American history for a Republican to be down this much at this stage. Really quickly, and I know we have to go, but Willie, another reason this is devastating for Romney, if he doesn't get the delegates he needs in Tampa, we're going to have 60 days between the last Republican primary and the beginning of the Tampa convention, where it's not going to be the mainstream media picking on Mitt Romney. It's going to be the Republican Party wringing their hands and looking at one gaffe after another. And if this guy is minus 15 in his net favorability, unfavorability ratings, anything could happen at that convention.
Newt Gingrich.
60 days to make trouble.
Newt made that very point 2 days ago. He said, get us to June, and then we're going to have 60 days of debates online, on TV, on radio, and we're going to go after Mitt Romney.
So just what the chairman of the Republican Party wants.
Exactly. But the narrative, as Mika said, at some point, these aren't gaffes anymore. No. This is what's inside you when you continue to say things.
Willie,
that's unbelievable.
I really don't get the House, and I don't mean to get so personal.
Listen,
but we're in a recession and people are hurting, and you're running for president and you're building a mansion that is tens of thousands of square feet and has a car elevator.
That's the problem.
You're disconnected.
Well,
you don't get it.
And again, the thing is, Mika, I know you'll agree with me. Everybody has a right, if they work hard and make money, to build whatever they want to build. But to do it in an election year shows that they have a right to have a Cayman Islands investment in a Swiss bank account. That doesn't mean you should have that. How could that not be scrubbed out? He knew he was going to run for president. Well, I know. No, that's what I'm saying. It shows a real blind spot.
99%, 1% is the issue of year, of our time, you could argue. And
boy, there are so many of these gaffes now, though, things that he said.
Too, but
we like him, but there's so many gaffes at this point, you can't even fit them into a 30-second.
And in fairness, we're not really picking on Romney. It's a compliment that we're spending as much time talking about Romney, because obviously all of us believe that he's going to be the nominee.
Yeah.
And who can talk to a candidate? Who there can talk to him and say, you know what?
I guess nobody.
That doesn't work. You can't do that right now. Or I don't want to work on your campaign.
And also, I mean, while we're talking about cars, again, there's so many. I can't imagine saying that, oh, and my wife, she's got a couple of Cadillacs.
I know.
I guarantee you, if I run again, I'm going to buy a pickup truck and let people take pictures of me in that. I mean, it's perception's reality. Holy cow.
Coming
Who do
up,
we have next?
We'll talk to Republican Senator Tom Coburn of Oklahoma.
He's got a couple of Cadillacs.
Also U.S. Managing Editor of the Financial Times, Gillian Tett. A first look at the new issue of Time magazine with Rick Stengel, and later from the legendary punk band the Ramones, Tommy Ramone.
Oh, he went to college with Rick Stengel.
Oh my gosh.
They're in the same fraternity at Princeton.
It's just a medley. It's a
eating club.
It's just an interesting
the same
mix,
eating club. That's right.
Up next, the Politico Playbook. Mitt Romney.
Ivy guys, they know.
Mitt Romney lands a big endorsement from one of the Senate's rising stars, Marco Rubio. He also got another endorsement from the same person, like a new old endorsement.
I love it.
We'll talk about that. But first, here's Bill Cairns with a check on the forecast. Bill.
Full endorsement, about once a year.
Yeah.
Good morning, everyone. We have cool air rushing back into New England. We are going to see even some snow showers in the higher elevations out there, but it's not going to be all too bad of a day. Probably some of the worst weather out there is in northern Kansas right now. Thunderstorms rolling from St. Joseph to Columbia. St. Louis, you're in the line for some of those today. And late today, could even see a few tornadoes late this afternoon to the early evening hours. Watch out Omaha to Kansas City area down into Oklahoma. As far as the forecast goes in the Northeast today, not bad. Typical March-like day, maybe a few sprinkles this morning. This afternoon should be in the 50s and partly cloudy. Middle of the country is where the thunderstorms will be. And the West Coast, what a miserable morning for you. Northern California and Oregon, high winds and a lot of heavy rain around Seattle. You're watching Morning Joe on this Thursday. We're brewed by Starbucks.